I want the power, but I want the love and respect first. On top of this tower, I'm just checking on my net worth. I come for what's ours. You just only want to check first. I come for what's ours. Let's I come for your neck first. I want the power, but I want the love and respect first. Said I want the power, but I want the love and respect first. Yeah, I want the power, but I want the love and respect first.
I'm honestly surprised I'm saying this, but I totally see the value in having flashbang grenades. So this might end up being a slightly longer video, so just for ease of use, I'm going to leave timestamps on the bottom of the video that can help guide you if there is a specific item you're looking for, so it'll just make the process easier. I'm going to do a recap where I'm going to send you guys back in time to when I was training at Tactical Response, and I'll do an overview of all the flashbangs and smoke grenades we were using, and then you could always reference back to those. After that, you're going to come back to me, and we're going to do a recap, and I'll tell you about the experience I actually had after getting to use these. Every now and then, some really cool products come to the channel for us to test out, and something that's exciting is being in a place where you could really fully test it to the extent that you want to. So I'm here at Tactical Response. This is Lewis from Tactical Response. We met way back. Really cool guy, really cool instructor. You should come train here. And what they have over here is a bunch of different types of grenades that you're able to get. What's really cool is that these are legit. These are very, very serious. Yeah. So as an experimental thing, when we first got this package, we opened it up together, we were at the shop, and then we took out one of these guys. We're like, oh, that's cute. This looks like a little cute device. So we said, why don't we go into the shoot house and see what it looks like, just so we get a baseline of what we're getting ourselves into. We were not prepared.
No.
We were not prepared.
Nope.
So
I was very happily surprised, also ears ringing.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through what the lineup is. We'll start off with this guy, because this is pretty much the baby version of what the rest of these are. So holding this to the standard of this being the baby version, these are insane. So let's go through the lineup. Let's go through like the biggest brother of all these ones over here. So right over here, we have the M13 Thermobaric grenade. And what this is a single flashbang grenade, but it's all the bang, all the flash in one massive concussive explosion. This is gonna be big flash, big bang.
Full significant, yeah.
Oh man.
That was bright.
So what's really cool about these devices is that if you go to I.W.A, their website, you're able to pretty much take a test, and then you're pretty much certified for the ATF or whatever it might be, that you're able to actually purchase these directly. So these are not stuff that you'd get for an airsoft game. There's actually qualifications, so to speak, required to be able to purchase them. But once you're in the system, I believe the license lasts for around 5 years. You can purchase as many of these as you want, and these are intense. These are really, really intense. So all the bang, all the flash, that would be the M13, which again, really big concussive blast with a flash associated to it. We're always going to be rolling in footage so you guys can check that out. And then stepping down, if you wanted a distraction device, so they refer to this as their distraction device, this is the M12. So we're going to go through the numbers just so you know. So the M13, flash bang, full bang, really powerful stuff. Then we have the M12, which is solely the bang aspect, not the flash aspect. So really loud concussive noise, but again, not really a flash associated to that. So that may be beneficial depending if you're running nods or whatever it might be. If you want the bang, but not necessarily to have a washout of light while you're seeing that, that could really be the benefit to having that specific system.
Ready.
I just saw red.
Oh
yeah,
my
that was a
God.
If that goal was noise, the flash was equally impressive.
Yeah.
Man. Then we have the M11, which also seems somewhat smaller than the rest of these, but this is a multi-flash, multi-bang. So it's similar to the M13 in regards to a big flash, big bang, but multiple. So we're actually gonna run this during the class to some of the students. We may or may not tell them that it's a single bang, a single flash, and see what happens. And then when the concussion keeps going, see how that plays out. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Because we want it to be the full experience, right? They're prepped somewhat for what's coming, but not fully for what's coming.
Grenade! It lives up to its name.
And then on the opposite side of the distraction, somewhat bang section is going to be smoke grenades. So they have the M14, which is they call the M14 Smoke Deployment Violet. So this one is the violet color. They have different colors they're able to get from the website. This has come out of a smaller version of the ones that they offer. So maybe good as a marker location device or whatever it might be. And then they have the big boy, which is the large M15. So the M15 is kind of their full power, full smoke device. So you get a lot of smoke. We're going to be running this in the class tomorrow, which is the advanced fighting rifle class here at Tactical Response. So it requires a prerequisite to take this course because it's much more intense than the regular classes you're able to take. So if you really want to test gear and run through a lot of stuff, this would definitely be the place to do it. So this is going to be the gear that we're going to be running. Again, this is a high intensity class. We want the full experience of everything we're doing. So I'm curious to see how all these play out. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm very excited. Like I said, this little guy, if we're gonna call it the little guy, it shocked me, the performance out of this, and the amount of these that can be stored on gear in different places. I mean, anywhere. If you could fit a Sharpie marker, you can probably fit a flashbang. Yeah. Like, that's crazy to me.
And if
that's awesome.
So we did it in a room that's semi-large, so not a huge room. But the idea is if it was able to have that kind of performance, I think for a lot of people, especially when you're not expecting it, this is a lot. So again, I'm curious to see how these play out, but this was shockingly a good performer. So I'm very curious to see how other people react to this little guy. Because again, I'm going to try to give the other students that are here very minimal information because we want that experience, right?
And we're going to sacrifice our hearing for you.
So don't do this at home.
So you don't need to test them on your own,
yeah,
right? Because there is something to testing stuff like this. You want that full experience of it.
Yeah.
But if I put Ear Pro on to test it,
like it didn't seem that bad.
Then,
it was bad.
Right. Then how can I say to someone with confidence what it can actually do?
Yeah. So again, we're going to test all these together, and we'll see how that goes. So recap, what is my experience with these flashbang grenades? I was wildly impressed with the performance of these grenades. I really didn't know what I was getting myself into going into this, but going into it was really fascinating to see the technology that was put into making these a effective and useful item. So I'm gonna go through the flashbang grenades and talk about the experience with each one of them and tell you at the end which one in regards to cost and regards to performance I would recommend you get depending on your purpose of use. So starting off with the M11. So the M11 is a multi-flash, multi-bang grenade. It was a very cool device to be able to use. We tried doing both of these once in regular lit room and then second time in a dark room so you kind of see the effect. The first thing I'll tell you about both the M11 and the M13, which are the bigger options that they offer, you do need to be careful around items such as like couches and curtains and things like that because it is emitting an explosion with flames. So even after the second shot that we took with the M11, we did have to go behind the couch and make sure there was no extra like fire starting to build up. So it's just something you have to be aware of when you're using these things. They are very serious use items, so that comes with also responsibility associated to them. Now, the M12 was also really interesting because everyone's experience with it was that was really loud and it did actually emit a pretty nice flash. Now, to my knowledge, it's primarily meant for the noise aspect, not for the flash aspect, but in regards to both, it did really well and you definitely felt the like concussive blast when it went off in the room and everyone kind of had the same reaction, which was really, really impressive to be able to see. The M13, by far probably my favorite one that we got to use. It is a big flash and big bang. So although unlike the M11, which is a multi-flash, multi-bang, this is one big blast that you can even see it left a serious stain on the floor there from the explosion. It is a really, really powerful thing. And then once we went to the dark room and actually got to use it, all of us, we all kept our ear protection on, but when we looked in the direction of where that flash took place, we all only saw purple. It was crazy to be able to see how your eyes literally just flash out and you could not see a thing for a few solid seconds. So in regards to effectiveness of what this thing does, it was definitely something that was amazing to experience. Now, there was one person who made the really poor decision on removing their Air Pro to be able to hear what it was like, and he was also not able to hear nor able to see, and it was a really bad day for him. So again, in regards to effectiveness, it was amazing. Now, remember, this is on the assumption that we all knew it was coming. So if you didn't know it was coming and you still had that experience, it would probably be way worse. So even with us knowing it was coming, the effectiveness was absolutely incredible. Then in regards to what I thought was the most impressive in regards to bang for your buck was the MK5 Thunderflash. These are like these sticks that use a different mechanism. So in regards to kind of serious use, so to speak, the regular mechanisms that they're using, which uses the pull pin design, is probably going to be better for you. But in regards to being able to carry a huge amount and be at a reasonable price, the Thunderflash was really interesting. So the last one was going to be the smoke. During the training class, we used the colored smoke as well as the regular white smoke. There was a larger version and a smaller version, but what was interesting is that during day 2 of the class, when we used the colored version, a lot of people said that although it was a smaller device, I guess the color was almost like thicker in design, so it was able to actually create a much thicker smoke, and it was actually harder to see the targets during that class. The larger one put out a lot of smoke, and it covered a large portion of the range for quite a while, to the point that we actually did call a ceasefire because none of us were able to see the target, which is exactly, I guess, what it's meant to do. It creates a nice smoke coverage of the area you're trying to block, and it definitely worked very effectively. So in regards to my 2-cent opinion, if you're looking to get a flashbang grenade, I was most impressed with the M13. It was a big flash, big bang, very concussive, easy to carry with the devices that I was using, and it was wildly impressive. If you're looking for the baby version of the M13, but you want to be able to get a much more affordable price and be able to carry more, the Thunderflash, although it's not the same intensity and everything else, was still very, very impressive to be able to see. So I have no hate towards the Thunderflash. It's smaller, it's not as bright and as loud, but they're easy to carry and they're very affordable. I think they worked phenomenally. I really did like them. If you want the big boy, M13, definitely the way to go. Full blast, full concussion, awesome. If you're looking for a longer term distraction device, which means if it's an airsoft game or serious use and you want to really distract a room for a while, the M11 worked amazing because it is, again, multi-flash, multi-bang. So you're kind of waiting for the explosion and then you kind of think it's over and then it happens 3 more times. So it's a lot of concussion and it works, again, for distraction really well. So in my order of most likely to least likely to use would be, I would be most likely to use the Thunderflash, again, because of the price and being able to carry. The M13 would be next in regards to concussive blast. The M11 in regards to distraction capabilities. The M12, which is more to the side of noise, but again, I really like the M13 more because it gives you flash as well. And then in regards to smoke, the larger smoke worked excellent, but then if you get the larger one with color, you probably even get a better combination of the two. So I really liked the pin design because it's somewhat more reliable than kind of a striker, but I still think these are all phenomenal items that you guys can definitely take a look at. I'm going to leave a link to their website below so you guys can check it out. If you have any questions or if you want to see more testing on this, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This is Raziel Cohen with ndftraining.com. Thank you for watching.